in the court.
So you guys wanted to talk about the Middle East, is that right? Yeah.
He did it. He fucking snuck it in. He did it.
Well, I think
didn't think he'd do it.
what people really want to hear is more opinions about a thing that no one really knows much about outside of it.
Who better to discuss it?
There's not enough of that.
Exactly. Who better to discuss it than three old white dudes with glasses?
Yeah, hey, don't bring race into everything, okay?
Or glasses.
I don't consider myself white. Just
none
bright.
of us are, really.
Red. Nah, mauve. So we won't talk about that, though.
No.
Apparently they're all very naughty, and they need to
naughty.
sort it out.
But it just...
You need to figure that shit out and then call us when you're done.
I don't understand why it has to be everybody gets killed. Why can't it be, hey, let's have a chat? Why has it got to be,
well, not
hey,
everyone,
let's just kill everyone?
Not everyone is getting killed. Well, at least they haven't dropped any their nukes. They really wanted to get the job done. They could have had that sorted in an instant. If that was the... See, this is why we should talk about it. Let's stay away from it.
Yeah. Don't give them ideas, Tone.
Global thermonuclear war. That'll fix it.
Yes.
Boom. Problem done. No more.
I think we talked about this before. Like people assume that you're going to be a survivor. They go, oh, yeah, I'd do really well. Like when the zombies come, I do really well. You know, how do you know you're not going to last 10 seconds? How do you know you're not going to be right under where the bomb drops?
Well, they got the ability to do like a localized, small, contained battlefield nuclear weapons. So they can drop like a little Hiroshima type size one, right on the area they want everything fixed, and it's fixed. So, I mean, that's a terrible thing to say, isn't it? You're not even on screen.
No, why not?
I don't know. Camera angle.
Over a little bit.
Yeah.
So you're in a new home. You're in a new studio.
We're in the West Country in Frome, not far from Glastonbury. Very nice.
Spelt Frome, of course.
Frome, of course, yes. Famously spelt weirdly.
Do you know much of the history of Frome?
Sorry?
Do you know much about the history of Frome?
Not yet. Do you?
Yeah.
You know stuff.
Oh, yeah. It was where World War II started. I don't know.
If you had kept a straight face, I would have believed you.
Yeah, I couldn't. My brain's just fucking not working today.
It's because you had to deal with animal poop straight away.
Yeah. Anyway, don't want to talk about that. But 2 cats, 2 dogs, too much.
We were going to get a dog, and then we looked after dogs, and we went, I don't want dogs now.
Must have had some bad dogs.
They're just, I love dogs, but I don't. It's effort, and it's like, we've got a baby. But that's enough poop to deal with.
Yeah, it is. I guess you get used to it, but we're on the 3rd floor, so it's a long way down, a long way up every time we got to go to the loo. But they're good at holding it, so you only need about 4 trips a day. Keeps you fit.
Get your steps in.
Yes, sir.
But Bodie pooped the other day. He managed to poop all of it outside of the nappy, under the clothing, and inside the nappy was immaculate. I don't know how he did it.
What, your boy?
Yeah. The poop was all on the outside, none on the inside. I don't know how. He must have squeezed it out of a hole somewhere.
Isn't it amazing how your own children's poop is not gross at all? I remember changing my kids' nappies, just no problem. Didn't bother me in the slightest. Just I was good at it. We got twins, so I could do 2 at one go. Whip, wipe, clean, dabba, change it up, package it up. But you see someone changing their baby near you? Oh, other people's babies are disgusting. I'm sure yours isn't.
But yeah, other people's are. Well, we went the first time we took him when we lived in Brighton, and we were driving to Kate's mum, which is near here. So we were driving. It was the first trip out, long trip, and we stopped at the services, and Kate took him into the baby changing place, and they were in there for a while, and I sort of stood there, And in the end, I sort of lean in and go like, is everything all right? She's like, and this little voice went, can you help me, please? And I went in, and it had been an absolute poon army. He'd shat all up, like sprayed the wall. There was piss everywhere.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Chaos.
Good job. Attaboy. Fire it out, son. Yeah. Do you get peed in the face yet?
Yeah.
Well, you've had loads of babies before, so the chances are you've been wazzed on in the face before.
Oh, loads of times.
Imagine if you joined the podcast just then.
It's the only time you're legitimately allowed to walk around with another man's poop on you.
We were with, well, I won't say who it is, just in case, but we were out when they had their first baby. We hadn't had a baby yet, and we'd gone to a Mexican restaurant. She picked up our friend, put the baby on the table, just changed it right there. I tell you what, I've never had a burrito again. It's just too close to Mexican food for my liking.
Yeah, you don't.
Could have been could have been a Chinese restaurant, but there's some restaurants. Yeah, like it would have been fine in a Chinese restaurant. There's nothing in Chinese food that resembles refried beans.
Yeah, you don't
I dare say the odd
talking to your friend and you put your hand in the wrong bit.
Wouldn't want to be changing a baby next to a Rogan Josh. Either. Sounds like I'm picking on Indian and Mexican food. All I'm saying is, love those foods, but they're not for changing babies. And she should have known that. Instinctually, I knew that. Also, maybe not on the table. I don't know.
Yeah, there's
maybe go to the changing rooms. Yeah.
But
anyway, do you ever try and get your baby to breastfeed off of your male boob?
No.
Try and get a latch just to figure out what your wife goes through.
He nearly did, but then he all the hair got in the way and he was confused. Even at that age, he just was like, "Yeah, this is the wrong end, surely."
Yeah, it's always worth a go, though. They got to be super hungry, I guess. But when we had twins, my wife was really good. She would time it up, make sure each boob had the exact same amount of time, and the boy I shouldn't be talking about any of this. It's not me that did it. But you had to be good. You had to go, girl right, boy left. Okay, switch. That's anyway, you're in a new place.
But your wife must have been constantly feeding. If it's twins.
Quite a bit. Yeah. Pretty much on it all the time, yeah.
Well, we watched it. Go on.
It was during a time when we were getting, we were watching all the series of stuff, like The Wire, Breaking Bad. We watched all the shows because you're just constantly feeding. So they were brought up breastfeeding to The Wire.
What a mixture!
Great show.
Great show. Great show.
Great time to have kids when series started coming out and you could watch them all in a go.
The era of the box set, there's suddenly a boom in babies.
Remember when it was the first time people had ever sat down and really watched entire series, when you'd get like the whole DVD set? I remember, should we watch another one? When we watched The Sopranos in the early 2000s, and we watched it from beginning to end over a Christmas holiday, this before we had kids and stuff.
Mm.
And we just watched so much, and your brain isn't used to binge watching like it is now. Now you do two, and you can be sensible and go, right, gonna go do something. But back then, it was so addictive. We watched it all, and over the course of about 2 weeks or a week, and then my accent changed. Remember the first time we went out of the house, went to a restaurant, and I said, I gotta get I'm gonna go out and get a scotch. I want to get a scotch. I want a scotch and a steak. And that's how I ordered it, too. Have you had a look at the menu? Yeah. I'm going to have a scotch and a steak. 3 fingers. Not the steak. The scotch.
And he went, you be watching The Sopranos,
Tony. Hey, Tony. Tony, come on. I don't know. What do you want? Come on, Tone. Hey, Tone.
We talked about this on the last one.
That's Christopher.
I love this. Yeah, because my friend told me a story about killing his dog. And you went, that's like the one in The Sopranos.
Yeah, I don't know why that's on my mind right now. I haven't seen it
Yeah.
for so long.
It's on your mind,
I
man.
wanted to talk about industrial accidents, some of the most famous ones, but I didn't do the research. I mean, the first one you get to is first one that crosses your mind is Chernobyl. I don't know what's interesting to talk about that if you don't. Do you remember Chernobyl? Were you a kid?
I remember it. I have seen recently. Did you see that blimp that crashed? I think it's like in Mexico or somewhere. This airship.
Oh, you're
crashed
thinking of
into
the Hindenburg. That was
No,
ages
no.
ago.
This is a
mate.
recent one. This is recent.
No,
There's footage of
no,
it coming in.
That was over 100 years ago, bro. Well, actually, it
listen-
wasn't over. It was 1930s, wasn't it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I thought you'd know that.
No.
Wow.
Before my time.
1930 something, I think.
Was it before? So, would it have been before the wars?
Yeah, it was before the wars for sure. Here, I'll
Both
get
of
it.
them.
1937, yeah.
When was
The
the First
Hindenburg,
World
but-
War? That was 1914, wasn't it?
14 to 18. That's right.
Yeah.
Well,
So How did I know that?
that would have been a great way to cross the Atlantic, though. I wonder how long it took. Sitting up there in luxury,
Kate's
but
mum-
knowing you're underneath.
Oh God, a big bag of gas.
Yeah. Dinner will be served at 6. Yeah, sure. Everyone, you just be walking out stressed out. Oh, what's for dinner? I'm not hungry. I think I should eat. I bet they just got drunk because they're so like.
Oh, you'd be
fuck.
hammered the whole time.
Yeah,
have
but there
to
be
be.
that big loudmouth at your table going, I wouldn't worry about it, ladies. This is the most safe technology in the world. There hasn't been there's been a couple of accidents, but they weren't filmed and there wasn't commentary on it, so there's no need to be afraid. Here comes the Hindenburg into New York, and what a fantastic sight! Oh God, the humanity.
The
or something like that,
humanity,
wasn't it?
yeah.
That was
What did
good
it do? Did it
sports commentary.
Did it hit a power cable or something?
Not sure. Yeah, I think. Yeah, like when you try to park a speedboat up against the jetty, that's stressful enough. Just
Oh,
going,
you know all about that, producer Paul.
Don't fucking bang the boat. Whoa, that's too much. All right. And then but man,
yeah.
you try to park the blimp.
big bag
Whoa,
of
shit,
gas.
fuck. Oh
It's
God,
one
God,
big
God,
fender,
God,
though. It will bounce off stuff, surely.
Yeah.
The blimp.
Yeah, but it's not supposed to
Well,
bounce.
pretty
off anything,
rigid.
is it, I suppose.
It had a rigid steel bar kind of skeleton, though.
Yeah.
So I don't think it was bouncy. It was
thought it was
pretty.
squashy. It looked
I think
squashy.
that's
So
what
the rest
happened.
of it, but the rest of it was made of paper mache.
So it's the skin of it looks bouncy, but the frame of it's pretty sturdy and
Yeah.
metal, and it would have been like tin, I guess. So sort of the lightest they could have come up with at that time.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that's a big disaster.
Paul knows all
But
about
what one
parking boats,
down in
though.
Mexico?
Oh, there was a blimp. So there was a
You
blimp.
do?
There was a blimp last week, and you see it coming in across the city, and then you just see it hit the top of the buildings, and then just start to like deflate. And then there's aerial footage of it from
Ooh.
like a helicopter. You can see this massive blimp that's just on the houses.
Oh, wow, there's nobody
And this
in
is
it,
in
really. It's just
Mexico?
Yeah, no, it was an airship.
Oh,
it was
I
an
see.
airship.
Right. Did it pop or something?
No one in it.
No one in it.
I'd love to see it.
think there
Was no one in it?
Yeah. Whoa, Miguel. Airship.
Is that the first Mexican name you thought of?
Yeah.
Miguel?
I don't even think it's Mexican. It's definitely Spanish, but I don't know.
Oh.
Can you see it?
No, I don't think it doesn't come up under Mexico.
Hindenburg disaster.
God, there's a whole list of them.
Oh, the Goodyear blimp.
Hydrogen airship disasters. It's got his own website.
Here we are. No, it's not coming up. I saw it though.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you
It's
did.
in
You saw
Brazil.
the Hindenburg. Was it in black and white? Ask
It's in
yourself
Brazil.
that. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, let's have a look at that. If you're listening right now, Google that, and let's all have a look at it.
Joining at home.
Yeah, this is not great podcasting.
This is now.
We haven't got the technology yet to put stuff up on the screen. Blimp
No.
crash shocks Brazil.
Yeah.
Plummets
Look.
into homes.
Oh, that is impressive.
Yeah.
That's worth a Google.
There you go.
Yeah.
No, I hadn't imagined it. Airship plummets into homes. 1 injured.
What's the name of the comic doing that advert for Dr. Squatch? Feel like a man, smell like a champion. Oh, there
Red
it goes.
Richardson.
I love Red. He's great for that, isn't he?
Yeah, he's perfect.
Oh, yeah, everyone's pet. Oh, so that's not hydrogen. So it's, oh, wow.
It's just a balloon.
There are people in it.
Yeah.
But it's going so slow, they might have lived.
Only one person injured.
You want? Oh, that's nice. Vamos Sao Paulo. So, looks like it's advertising cheap flights to Sao Paulo. I'm not getting on their plane, am I?
Nah. You can't even keep a balloon in the air, let alone a plane with people on it.
Yeah, I'll pass, thanks. I think I'll spend the extra 50 quid.
I remember when I think it was Lidl or something like that, and they were doing surprise destination holidays where you never knew where you were going to go. You just booked it.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, at Lidl as well. Yeah. Imagine, they just, it's Audi or something like that. They'll just fire you out of a cannon.
Where you landed, there's your holiday.
There's your holiday.
It's a bit like the early days of EasyJet and Ryanair in the early days when they couldn't get secure berths at proper airports, and you'd be out in the middle of... It'd say you're flying to Rome, but it'd be Rome Macado, which would be 4 hours from Rome. Remember?
Yeah.
We're going to south of France.
Have you?
On Ryanair, and
mate.
It was a long way out of Rome. There was another long distance.
It's a long train ride into Rome, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
And it's the flight takes next to no time. And you spend the rest of the day getting to Rome.
Well, I'm going to research industrial accidents for the next episode, I promise, and then I'll have more to talk about. I get on YouTube sometimes, and I quite like watch it. I get into when they build dams and stuff, and then if a dam bursts, that's a good watch. When you're trying to get your algorithm to get rid of all the political bullshit, you got to start thinking, what can I get my algorithms on? So I start with building dams. 1970s curling, was into that for a while. Anything to stop people coming up and going, here's something that'll fire you up and ruin the rest of your day and turn you a little bit right wing. How about you watch that? And here's another thing that backs that up. And another thing, you won't believe the injustice of this. Here's some more of that. So you've got to be creative to get out of that loop.
So you go dams. What would happen if a dam burst? There'd be carnage, wouldn't there? Just the Hoover
it's
Dam.
pretty bad.
It's the Hoover Dam. That's the only one I know.
Well, it's pretty damaging down because that's a finely balanced thing. But the Chinese have built some enormous dams, and when those go there, because there's got cameras on them all the time, so you can see it live. But yeah, it can wipe out entire villages. It's pretty bad. I imagine there'll be more of those going forward.
Something's going to happen, isn't there? Yeah, especially the
rain...
Hoover Dam. Surely it's quite sort of earthquakey around there.
Well, I think the rivers that feed the Hoover Dam are really like trickles now. I think the Hoover Dam's not very full. I think. I got a hunch that the water that goes into there there's the population downstream is so large that and along those rivers it's just sucking everything out of it. So there's like streams. I could be wrong, but I think I saw something like that on that. It's a pretty informative podcast, isn't it?
No,
I think I saw a thing that might have said a thing. Like in Los Angeles now, they've built a honeycomb system underneath the city because they were worried about their waters. By the time the water gets to them, they don't have much left. So every time it rains in L.A., it filters all the water and goes into their drinking thing.
Really?
Yeah. Yes, they built some honeycomb system underneath it. That's pretty clever, isn't it?
So
they
clever.
don't rely on as much water. Yeah. So there's solutions. Smart people out there who aren't inside of linen cupboards are working hard to fix shit. And that's good to know. We can just coast along, drive to our little gigs. Someone will build the roads.
Yep.
Do you hate that when you aquaplane a bit? Oh, I was thinking of that the other night on the way to a gig. I just thought, coming down a hill, not doing too fast, like 60 miles an hour, and then just think, shit, what a thing to slide off the road and die for. Go to the village pub out in the Cotswolds to entertain 80 people. What a thing to go for.
And it comes up, your little signal,
doing
little
what he
sign on your
loved.
dash.
He died doing the thing he didn't mind having to do.
Yeah.
He died grudgingly. Like, well, fuck. Need the 150 quid.
He died doing something that wasn't just sat at home watching videos about curling.
When they interview people after they've someone is so if someone's a killer, they'll ask a neighbor, and it's always, he was really quiet, kept himself to himself. It's it's never usually like, he's really outgoing. He used to put on a potluck supper. I mean, he was a great guy, apart from the killing. But if there's a tragedy and some kid dies, it's always he had such a bright future, and it always seems like the disasters take the good ones. They never usually go, well, I don't know, he's a bit of a wanker, actually. I mean, and he was a bit thick. He wasn't going to cure cancer. I mean, it's no real loss. They never say that.
The thing is, he peaked at school, and, he wasn't going
he was
anywhere.
still living in high school. Yeah, he was still living, he's still talking about sports he did in high school.
Yeah. Who was the hardest in the school?
Yeah, he was still going to high school parties at 30.
Have you ever met anyone that's killed anyone, Tone?
I don't think so, but you never know, do you?
No, I have.
I've been around people who you definitely feel like they have. When someone gets on a train, an empty train, and you just, I don't know. Well, you've met someone who's literally killed someone? Literally.
Yeah.
That's the only way to do it, isn't it? Actually. Where'd you meet them?
He's a comedian in Australia. And
which one?
I'm not going to say his name on here in case it's not official. I don't want to get into that murky.
Oh, right.
No, I think he got convicted. I think he got done, but I think it was manslaughter. It wasn't on purpose.
Oh, okay. So that's a shame.
Yeah.
For everyone, especially the dead person.
But I've never met anyone that.
Oh.
I've never met a serial killer, I don't think. But where Paul lives in the woods, when you drive from his house in either direction, there's little shacks buried with. There was one I drove past the other day, had all like busted up cars out the front and all bits of stuff, and he was like, it spread over the lane, so no one goes out there. No one goes out there and tells him to tidy up. He's using all the space he wants to use. There's death happened there. There's bodies out there, I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, nothing good happens by the abandoned railroad tracks.
No.
As a rule, not much good happens in the woods.
No, nothing good happens in the woods, especially out in the boonies.
With people who live in the woods. Yeah.
Imagine living out there on your own. There's no way you're not killing something.
Well, we were talking in 2 episodes ago about burying fucking donkeys in the woods, weren't we? So we're only one step away. I mean, what do we do when we get bored digging that big hole and we don't have anything to put in it? We start looking at each other a bit funny, don't we? Start glancing back and forth, and the podcast got dark.
We got paranoid It'll send ourselves insane in the hole because we can't get out. People have to lower.
Do you think it might be tough to get? Might be tough to get guests. Do you think? So what? Explain to me what's the podcast? Well, it's called the Law and Disorderly. No, what is it called?
Law and Disordered.
Law and Disorderly, and but for the patrons, they get to watch a video and listen to a podcast of us digging a hole in the woods.
Yeah.
So we get a guest out, and they come and they dig with us, and we usually try and get the guest to do most of the digging. And they're like, no, I don't want to do that. But that'd be quite fun. Is each episode with their guest, they end up being the ones doing all the digging, and then we just stop talking and start looking at each other.
Keep going.
And then eventually it'll dawn on them, hey, am I digging my own grave here? Well, now that you mention it, I mean, we wouldn't even have to take responsibility. We could just be real narcissists and go, well, you mentioned it. I wasn't going to take it there, but...
No, this is your idea.
Now we've got the hole. Be a real shame. I think we'd be easily caught, though, by broadcasting it. So
the first episode.
Let's not do that. Let's just dig the hole, and when we get a big hole, we can plant a tree.
Why don't we get terminally ill people to dig the hole, and then we just leave them there?
Or assisted suicide.
Yeah.
A little bit, but that's all right. Assisted suicide. Surely some people don't want to use the gas or whatever the methods they use in Europe, those murderous bastards. Boy, bringing back gas. You would have thought they would run a mile from that.
Yeah.
Especially with the current situation. But, somebody might go, well, I don't know. I don't like all the options they've given me. I want to be buried alive in a hole. Well, I know the guy's for you.
At what point do I come out with the measuring?
Well, probably
just quietly, just while you're chatting about something else.
Yeah.
Start measuring.
You're going to have to dig a bit more, lads.
No, we'd have a measuring stick with marks on it, and we just get them to stand by that. We just eye it up, do an eye test.
As we keep digging, and then they get lower and lower until it gets to the right.
We'd make it We'd make it big enough for a donkey, and would fit most people in then.
I'm up for it. I think that.
Yeah, this has gotten pretty dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it'd be great. It'd be wonderful.
Should we stop this one then? It got dark.
Yeah. Oh. You wanted me to talk about my superstar turn in. Oh, okay.
Is that a tease?
Yeah. So coming up on the next one, we talk about Tony being in the TV show Chaos with Jeff Goldblum.
I know, but it's going to be a short episode, bro.
You got stories.
Well, I don't know if they're any good.
Well, we'll find out on the next episode of Law and Disordered. And stay tuned for Digging a Hole, which is coming soon.
Coming soon. Have
If
you had a good look at your
you know
yard
what's
for
happened.
Silence in the court.